Kimberly.
And I'm Jocelyn.
Of Fat Quarter Shop.
And it's So Emma.
And we're here today to talk about Deck-ade the Halls, 10 fabrics, 10 blocks, 10 years. And we're on our third installment, which is called Vintage Ornaments, and Jocelyn's going to talk to us about this block.
All right, well, we are on this middle row right here, which we're calling Vintage Ornaments. As you can see, these are going to be your littlest blocks in the quilt. They're very sweet. What makes them really stand out is that you're using white for the star points. So you can use really bright focal fabrics around them, and that's what's going to make them pop out. So that's about it. And please, if you're making this quilt along with us, be sure to post your photos to our Flickr page.
Yeah, and this one, like Jocelyn was saying, is our smallest block, but it's so easy because there's only really one technique used. It's just your corner squares. So it's really, really easy, even though they're small pieces. So our supply list is the same as it's been in the previous months. We've just got pins, scissors, rotary cutter, seam ripper, marker. Again, we like to use our fabric row marking pins. I've already cut all our small pieces and they're all labeled, so this will be easy. So next I'm going to talk to you about how to apply the corner units and then how we're going to assemble this entire block. So make sure to watch. So our first step is going to be making the very top section of the ornament block, and we're just going to be using a 1/4 inch foot. So my machine has a 1/4 inch foot that's got a guide on it. You just want to make sure you know how to do a 1/4 inch. I always do my sewing machine where when it finishes the foot is up and the needle is down because I think it's easier to use. So that's something that might help you. And I always pin, even if it's small I pin. So I'm just going to sew 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to sew on the other side the 1/4 inch. And a very important part of this block, since the pieces are so small, is how you iron and press to make your seams really flat. So we're going to show you that next. So as you can see on our pattern, we have listed which way you're going to press your seams, which is very good because we've made it to where all of your seams in your quilt will nest. So your seams will line up better. So you can see that you're pressing into your aqua. It's very important to set your seam, which means just lightly press so it makes it set, and then you're going to press in, and then you're going to do the same thing on the next one. You're going to make it flat, and you're going to press in. And like I said on the first video, I use lots of starch and lots of steam. And so you can see this lays perfectly flat, and you can tell you used a 1/4 inch since it's a 1/2 inch seam, and these line up perfectly. So for the corner of your ornament block, what we're going to do is we're going to put a square on top of a rectangle and put them right sides together and pin, and I drew a line, a purple line from one corner to the other, and you're just going to sew on that line. My sewing machine also has a line that I can just follow if I don't want to draw that. And there's also a product called Easy Angler Tool that you can tape down to your machine and follow a line on that also if you don't want to draw a line. Now for the centerpiece at the very top, you're going to do the same thing, except you're going to do it twice. You're going to sew on this line, cut, press, and sew again. So we're going to show that. So in this one, you're going to just sew. And on these blocks, what you want to do is just cut a 1/4 inch approximately off. And then you're going to do the same thing we just discussed. You're going to set your seam and press it open. So now I've pressed this unit that you need to add another corner square to. And I'm just going to add this corner square, pin, and sew on the line. here. And then we're going to press open. And you're going to do the rest of your block following the instructions using all of these techniques, and we're going to show how you put the block together at the end. So now we've pieced our ornament units and we need to sew them into rows. So I'm going to do the same thing I did as in our first step. I'm going to put right sides together. I'm going to pin at the bottom. I'm going to sew with a 1/4 inch. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other end, and you're going to do all the rest of your rows the exact same way, and then you'll just have all your other rows left to put together. So now you will press this just like you pressed your other items, and you're going to make sure you follow the arrow on our instructions on which way to press. So now we've got our 3 rows that are part of our ornament ball, and we're going to press them. So again, you're going to set your seam, and then you're just going to press out, set the seam, and press out. So now we've got our 3 ornament rows done, and we're just going to sew these together with a 1/4 inch seam, and then we're going to join our top of our ornament, and we're going to sew these with a 1/4 inch seam, and then you're going to have your ornament block. So now we've made our vintage ornament block. You're going to make 3 red and 2 green, and your whole finished row is going to finish at 9 by 29. And we want to remind you that we have our patterns online, and they're in full color, and you can download these for free on our blog. And thanks for watching.
Thanks.